Welcome back to Case Closed, Anime Review, episode 313. We're here reviewing episode 1193, Kid vs. Hakuba, Azure Throne, Part 1. This episode covers chapters 1119 to 1120. Yeah, this actually is the first one since, I think, like, the Shogi case. That it's been a little bit since they've done an arc where it covers, like, 2 chapters. Because, mostly put in the terms of this particular anime, whenever they adapt arcs themselves, because a lot of the time the arcs are basically like 3 chapters, a lot of them tend to be like that. They have been for the last few years. They tend to do like a chapter and a half, one episode, and in the very next episode, it's the rest of that chapter, plus the entire very next chapter. When it's a 4-parter, it does this. Yes, it does. So, basically, here's what happens. So, we debuted this new throne, which is basically something new. It's a throne with a jewel in it. Yes. Yeah, basically it's in this extended part of the Tokyo Bell Tower that apparently cost 5 billion yen to build this damn thing. Basically what it is this hallway. At the end of it is basically a chair. There is curtains. They do explain it later on. It was actually due to customers being scared about being high up in the air because of the way it is. So the way this works is that you go in, you see the chair, and you leave. And the security is simply a single camera in the first part of the door. Second one has like this wall with these random lights. And the character himself, well, you don't actually see his face per se here, but we do get something later about that. So, and then Kono does something interesting, like, we see like a glare on the screen. Turns out because he gets there, like, oh crap, there's his lens put on to basically repeat it. And they do explain that the trap is vapor, water vapor in the area. It's basically so he can sweat. So, and they do explain with this president who's there, this who's also got a cough due to karaoke previous night, and this technician, and then the president's wife shows up, something was happening, and then the secretary shows up too. So, pretty much basically, like, after explaining everything, then watching on the screen, of course, you all see Sadako there. There's mention of her boyfriend, something which the series has not done in a long time, mentioning him. Like, what was the last time he was mentioned? Yeah, so pretty much basically. So, and then the craziness goes off. And they get inside, and of course, Kono goes in first and discovers the cow kid there, and there's a dead body. You're like, what? A dead body? You're like, that's different. Yes, that is way different than usual. Normally put, there's not usually that body there. Oh, by the way, there's mention about Sichi, where that he and Rand frequently call and text each other. And it's pointed out the subject they're a couple, they apparently don't go on dates. Apparently, for reasons per se. Yeah, it's not exactly known exactly the reason for this. Actually, there is a reason, because he's Conan. She doesn't know, but the viewers know. So, and then of course the Kaido Kid, they have him, like, in order to fool everybody that, well, for this, okay, so, basically, to fool everybody, he's Sichi. He describes himself as Sichi. And with the cover fact that he's accused of murder. And Conan is pointed out later, why does your face look like mine? Well, the explanation behind the scenes is because the same guy who did Magic Kaido also does the manga anyways. Yes, the manga version of this. So, the same person who does the manga version of the story also does... Yeah, he also does basically case codes as well. And this actually is something that was pulled over from the movies. Yep. It was mentioned by Conan that he looks exactly like Sichi. He doesn't know who he is under the mask, but he does know the fact that his face looks exactly like Sichi's. Yes, it is pointed out by Conan in the movies, and yet in the show, they decided to have that brought over to the main canon. Because that was a thing in the movies, so... Not the first time they brought something over from the movies into the main canon. They also did the same thing with the detective who debuted in the movies. A very original detective who also appeared in a few filler episodes. And yet, he's canon. Gets appeared in their case. And then this episode brings us the return of a character who has not appeared on TV since 2007. High school detective Hakuba. Yeah, he's not been seen since 2007, since episode 479. Yes, that was the last officially he was ever seen in the series. You're probably thinking, why the heck did it take so long to bring this guy back? The answer for that is quite simple. Because he doesn't regularly appear in the manga. In the manga, this was his most recent appearance he made. He only appeared, this was only his third story he made. And mostly, but he also appeared in one of the spin-offs. Mostly, but he appears mostly in the Magic Kaido series. Where he's appeared in the manga and in the 1412 series. He did appear in 5 of the special Magic Kaido. Most important, he's a Magic Kaido character that they decided to bring him over here. Of course, also, in the case of the detective appears here. Yeah, he appears frequently every time the Kaido Kid shows up. It's been a while. And by the way, this arc is the most recent arc of the Kaido Kid's appearance to date. And and of course, 3 different things. Of course, there's blood on this floor, there's blood on the curtain, the fact there's a silencer, and there's this fact like who could possibly be the killer. One could be the director, the other could be the secretary and wife who may possibly be in a secret affair, which they'll go into here. So, and to point this stuff out. And then by the end of the episode, Hakuba basically brings up in the thing that, are you really Sichi Kudo? And that was the ending of chapter 1120. But I like this one. It's really good. It is nice. Now, I first heard about this case being adapted 2 months ago. And apparently this episode was actually supposed to come out for episode 1192, basically last week's episode, but had been delayed because, get this, the actress who played Ran got pregnant. Yep, she got pregnant, so they brought in a substitute. So because of it. And by the way, this actually is a little fun fact. The last case that was released in 2023 to be adapted. Yeah, 2023 only had 4 cases, and this was the last one. And the last time they did a multi-parter was actually 3 months ago, when they did the foiled kidnapping transaction case, and that was the first case of 2024. There's 3 more left to go. I wouldn't be surprised. Next one is Azure kidnapping. I would not be surprised with that, but like, have they adapted a lot of the cases so far? Yes. But the answer to the obvious question, how many more chapters? Because they're going to adapt this one here. So, how many is left? Let's see. 10. Let's see. The most recent chapter was chapter 1159, and the chapter I can finish it was 1122, and because they've already adapted 1125, so they have roughly 37 chapters. My guess is they might wait into the release of the very next arc to finally start adapting more of the manga. That's my guess anyways, because there may not be enough to adapt here. No, I don't think so, but hopefully it's not too long for, say, to do that in the one. I hope so. But otherwise, though, great episode. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, to notifications. Next up we have is Trigon Stargaze, and it's back to Jan Person. Okay, next video.